Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to share something a little bit different with you guys today. I saw a post on someone else's channel from a while ago about like the weird things or random things that they do to save money. I just wanted to share some of the weird things because I feel like I do have some weird things that no one else does or thinks of that I do to save money. So let's get started. So the first thing that I do to save money is I water down drinks. If you know me, you know that I'm a huge diet soda addict. I don't like regular soda, but I can drink the heck out of some diet soda. And the country that I live in right now, it's super expensive, and on top of that, it's just not good for you. It's nothing but chemicals, and I know that, but I still love it. So I have a hard time drinking plain water, but I don't want all the sugar of drinking juice or Gatorade. Like, to me, drinking Gatorade is basically the same as drinking a soda, right? Like, it's just non-carbonated sugar water. So what I do is I will either buy juice or buy a Gatorade and water it way down. It helps me get a ton of water in, and instead of drinking like 5 things of Gatorade in a day, I'll drink like half of a bottle in a day because that's literally how much I'm watering it down. So I will put like this much Gatorade in my water bottle, and then the rest of my 40-ounce water bottle, I will just straight up fill up with water. So it saves a ton of money also because of course water is free. And so I'll do that with either Gatorade or, like I said, I'll do it with juice. Usually if I'm doing it with juice, I'll pick juices that are like really flavorful and tart so that you still get a lot of flavor. Like I love to do it with 100% cranberry juice. You only need a tiny bit because that's so flavorful. Or I'll do it with grapefruit juice. Or if I don't want to buy juice or Gatorade, I'll of course just add fresh lemon or fresh lime to my water, and that makes it just as flavorful and helps me get it down without me spending all that money on diet soda. So the second weird thing that I do to save money is that I use rags or towels for everything. So the house that I live in, the only like utility that is completely free to me is water. So I of course try to conserve water because it's good for the planet, good for the environment, but you know, the water is free and paper towels are not. So I try to use rags or towels to clean up everything, to clean my kitchen counters when I'm just wiping them down. If I'm fostering an animal and they have a pee pee accident, like I have the dog towels because I can just wash them and wash them and wash them and reuse them. And that's what they're there for. They're the dog towels. So that is another thing that I do to save money. It saves me a ton of money on paper towels, and I know this for a fact because one of my roommates, a previous roommate, got a puppy while she was living here, and I had just bought a huge jumbo pack of paper towels right before she moved in for everyone to share, and we went through that jumbo pack in maybe 2 months because that's how much she was using them to clean up accidents. And then the following semester, she left. My other roommate stayed. My other roommate bought a jumbo pack at the beginning of the semester, and we're still 2 semesters later still using her paper towels. So that just shows you when I only use towels to clean up potty accidents and let alone everything else, how much we save the paper towels. So that's probably saved us like easily $100 of local currency in paper towel, on paper towels, which is probably like almost $40 US. So definitely worth it. So the third weird thing that I do to save money is that I eat a whole foods vegan diet. So the important part of that is whole foods, and even if you didn't want to eat vegan, still the important part for living down here especially is the whole foods part, because the foods that are the most expensive down here are everything that's processed. So cookies, chips, sodas, which I already talked about, they're so expensive down here. Frozen, like pre-made food, like chicken tenders, frozen pizzas, like it's more expensive to buy a frozen pizza down here than it is to get a takeout pizza. So all those things are so expensive. And also even like cheese, of course, cheese, meat, dairy, eggs aren't that bad, but those types of things are more expensive also. So I have started eating a vegan diet since being down here. And at first, I wasn't saving any money doing it because I was buying veggie burgers and like chicken tenders, chicken, like those fake meat replacements. But when you cut all that out and literally just eat plants, the plants down here are what's the cheapest because those are things that don't have to get imported. So, you know, I've kind of figured out how to eat really cheaply on this vegan diet. So, for example, I eat a lot of beans. Well, canned beans aren't cheap down here like they are in the US because everything canned has to be imported. So, once I figured that out, I started cooking all my beans from dry beans. And, a huge bag of dry beans is 99 cents, whereas a can, which would be like one or two servings for me, is $5. So, once you figure that out, it's a no-brainer. Go with the dry beans. Same thing, go buying bulk rice instead of buying like microwavable packets of rice, and even different things in the US. So you this might not apply to the US as much, but you just have to figure out what works in your area. Because, for example, I know at home in the US, buying frozen veggies is like a cheaper alternative to buying fresh veggies, and you still get a ton of the nutrients. But down here, I found that it's first of all, it's about the same price to just buy the fresh veggies and steam them yourself because again, those frozen veggies are imported, but also almost every time that I was buying frozen veggies down here, they tasted freezer burn because I have a feeling they were probably thawing in transit and then getting refrozen. So I wouldn't even eat them. So even if they were a little bit cheaper, if they taste freezer burn and I'm not going to eat them, it's a waste of money. So once I figured that out, I've been saving a ton of space in my freezer for one, eating a lot more veggies for two because they actually taste good when I buy them from fresh instead of having freezer burn veggies, and saving money because I'm not wasting money trying to save money buying freezer veggies and end up throwing them away. So, another thing that I've done to save money in a weird way, so number 4, I make my own room and like fabric refresher. So basically, it's an alternative to Febreze. So I love Febreze. I would spray it like on everything all the time to keep my stuff feeling fresh. It's easier and quicker than burning a candle, and you don't have to wonder, oh, am I gonna burn the house down? Like I love Febreze, but I quickly figured out that it's expensive. It's expensive in the US. I mean, it's not free, and it's really weirdly expensive down here. So I looked up a recipe online to make your own. I actually had from a previous roommate that moved out, like as I was moving in. She left like some empty bottles, so I actually have a Febreze bottle that I've just followed the recipe, and basically it's like water, a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and then one packet of like the scent crystals, which my mom gave me scent crystals for my laundry that I brought down here, which I love the smell of. So I use those. You can also use fabric softener. But yeah, so I made one bottle of that, and I've been here going on 2 years, and it's still lasting me. So, and that was free. I already had everything to make that. So it didn't cost me a cent. The 5th weird thing that I have been doing to save money down here is um, making my own Swiffer cover, basically. So I have all tile floors down here. You can kind of see, like right there in the corner. The houses down here are all tile floors because it's tropical. And so the best way to clean those, like on a day-to-day basis, is definitely the Swiffer. It gets up the dog hair, it gets in the crevices and everything, like way better than sweeping ever could. So I bought a Swiffer from another student when I got down here, but the refill pads, the dry pads and the wet pads especially, are super expensive at the store down here. So basically every time I have someone visit, I do have them bring me some wet and dry Swiffer pads. But in the meantime, if I'm out, I will take one of those socks that's like really, really fuzzy, like you get them in like the Target dollar spot or like Walmart, like holiday. I don't think I have any clean that I could show you, but like those really, really fuzzy, like comfy socks, if you just put that around the end of the Swiffer, It seriously works amazing, especially if you just spray like a tiny little bit of Pledge on it. Or I've been using that faux Febreze that I made. I spray a tiny bit of that on it, and it picks up, it just makes it damp enough that it picks up all the dust and hair. And then when you're done, like I said, my water down here is free, so I just throw it in the wash and I can reuse it a million times. So yeah, that's another weird thing I've been doing to save money. So the sixth and final random and kind of weird thing that I've been doing to save money down here is sharing an internet subscription. So I actually was really hesitant to do this at first. Internet on this island is already pretty crummy. So my neighbor that lives upstairs originally was my roommate when we first moved to the island. We both came at the same time and we were like random roommates together. So after the first semester, she decided that she wanted to move upstairs because she liked that layout better. So when she moved up there, she approached me asking, did I want to share internet subscription, and I said no because I knew there was going to be 2 people down here and 3 people upstairs, and I didn't think that there was going to be enough like bandwidth or whatever for all of us to be doing homework and like rewatching lectures all at the same time. But after a semester of that where my internet, I had a different provider than the one that they got. My internet was being so crappy, cutting out all the time, that I was just using theirs most of the time anyway because she gave me their password for their network. So after a semester of us all paying like twice as much because we had separate subscriptions, I just said, you know what, I'm sick of the company that I'm using. They're not helpful. I had one really bad experience with them where they literally came and physically cut the line to our house, and it took me 3 weeks of calling them every single day before they would send someone out because they didn't believe me. I had seen the worker with the clippers cutting the line, and then right at the moment that I saw him do that, we suddenly didn't have internet anymore. But yeah, it took 3 weeks of me begging and pleading to convince them that they had done this to us. And when they finally sent a guy out, he first came in the house and tried to say that I messed up the wires because I moved my router around too much, and so he put in a new wire, and once he realized, oh, that didn't work, I guess she was telling the truth, maybe it was an outside wire, he gets up on a ladder and sees that I was 100% correct. So after that, I was like, no love lost with this company, I'm closing down my account. And I've been sharing Wi-Fi with my upstairs neighbor ever since, so that's been a year now. So the whole time that we've been sharing, there's either been 4 roommates or 5 roommates, because this whole time we've been sharing, there's been 2 in my apartment, me and my roommate who's been here almost a year, and then my upstairs neighbors, there's 2 in there right now, but for the past 3 semesters there's been 3 up there, and we have had no problems. I think there's been maybe 2 or 3 times that we lost internet, but it was because like their dog was playing and bumped the cord or something like that. So you know, even as crummy and slow as the internet is down here compared to home, it's still way worth it because it was costing, I think, around 60 EC per month per person for me and my roommate when we had separate internet. So that's about 20, a little bit more than 20 US a month, which isn't bad. But now it's only cost us 30, around 30 EC local currency, which is around 10 US a month. So, you know, across a year, that's over $100 and totally worth it. So, yeah, those have been 6 really random things that I do down here to save money. I don't know if any of them will apply and hopefully help you in the US or wherever you live. I know not all of them apply to the US, but some of them definitely do. So, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!